American Dad, a show that looks like pure comedy. A crazy CIA father, a talking alien, and a goldfish with a human brain. But behind all the jokes and chaos, there are secrets that even loyal fans never noticed. Today we're diving into the darkest and most mysterious truths hidden inside American Dad. And once you hear them, you'll never look at the show the same way again. Stan Smith, patriotic, confident, and totally out of control. But here's something wild. Stan's character was originally written as a serious government agent based on real-life CIA officers. Seth MacFarlane later turned him into a satire, a mirror of how blind loyalty can turn anyone into a monster. So every time Stan acts ridiculously extreme, it's not just for laughs. It's a critique of America's obsession with control. Then comes Roger, the alien who wears wigs, disguises, and lies like breathing. Fans think he's just comic relief, but a deeper theory says Roger represents identity itself, a being who keeps changing because he doesn't know who he truly is. Some even believe Roger is the embodiment of chaos, the part of the Smith family that reveals everyone's hidden desires. Every disguise he wears is another version of what people wish they could be. And what about Klaus, the talking goldfish? Most viewers forget he's actually a German ski jumper whose brain was switched by the CIA. But here's the creepy part. Some episodes hint that Klaus still feels his human body somewhere in another lab. That means the experiment that created him might still be active. There's even a fan theory that the CIA in the show is covering up the failure of their mind transfer program, and that Klaus is just one of many. Francine, the sweet, smiling wife, has her own dark side, too. In early drafts, she was supposed to be a spy planted to observe Stan. The idea was dropped, but tiny references remain. The way she hides information, her strange skills with weapons, and those moments when she suddenly knows too much. Maybe she isn't as innocent as she looks, but here's where things get really weird. The timeline of American Dad doesn't make sense. Characters don't age, global events shift randomly, and technology jumps between decades. Some fans believe the Smith family is stuck inside a CIA simulation, a never-ending loop where their lives are studied like lab rats. That would explain why Roger never dies, why time resets after every disaster, and why nobody outside their house ever questions what happens. And finally, the biggest secret. The show's hidden messages about control and freedom. Every episode ends where it began, as if no one learned anything. That's not lazy writing, that's the point. American Dad is showing how modern society keeps repeating the same mistakes, stuck in a cycle where the system always wins. It's not just a cartoon. It's a warning. So what do you think? Is American Dad just a funny animated sitcom? Or a coded message about power, identity, and illusion? Share your theory in the comments, and if this blew your mind, hit that like button. Because next time we're going even deeper into the dark universe of The Simpsons. Stay curious. Last time we uncovered the shocking secrets hidden inside American Dad. But what if I told you that was just the surface? In this part 2, we're going even deeper, into the theories and mysteries that connect the entire show to something much darker. Let's start with the biggest question. Who or what is Roger really? We've seen him use hundreds of disguises, fake names, and personalities. But in one episode, Roger says, "I've been here longer than you think." Fans believe that Roger didn't just crash on Earth. He's been part of the CIA's alien program for decades, maybe even before Stan was born. Some even think Roger was the reason the CIA found Stan in the first place. What if Roger isn't an alien at all, but a failed human experiment that evolved? And then there's the question of Langley Falls, the city where the Smiths live. Have you ever noticed how it never changes? No new buildings, no aging, no technology growth. It's like time doesn't move there. According to one fan theory, Langley Falls isn't real. It's a simulation, a virtual world created by the CIA to observe behavior. Every time the Smith family dies in an episode and returns perfectly fine in the next, it's not bad writing. It's a reset, a new simulation run. But what about Stan's boss, Avery Bullock? He acts crazy, but there are clues he's more than human. In one episode, Bullock says, "I've been replaced so many times I don't even know if I'm real anymore." Some fans think Bullock is a clone, or worse, a synthetic body controlled remotely. The real Bullock may have died years ago, and what we see now is just a puppet for the system. Francine also hides something deeper. Her calm suburban mom life doesn't add up. There's a theory that Francine's memories were wiped clean by the CIA after a secret mission went wrong. That's why she occasionally has flashbacks of things she can't explain, like knowing how to handle weapons or remembering faces she never met. What if Francine was never a wife at all, but a former operative whose identity was rewritten? Now let's talk about Haley and Steve, the kids who never grow up. Some fans think they're not even real children, but AI projections made to keep Stan and Francine stable inside the simulation. It's why they never age, and why their storylines reset after every episode. Steve's obsession with technology, Haley's rebellion, their coded traits, not personalities. And then there's the one secret almost nobody talks about. The CIA logo that flashes for a split second in some intros. If you slow it down frame by frame, you'll see hidden text that says Property of Langley Project. This might be the biggest clue that American Dad isn't a normal cartoon. It's a show about control, identity, and reality itself. So maybe the question isn't what is American Dad, but where is it happening? Is Langley Falls a real town? Or a virtual prison where the Smith family is trapped forever, repeating the same mistakes for someone's entertainment? You decide. Drop your theory in the comments. And if you thought Part 1 was crazy, Part 3 will take you beyond the simulation. Because next time, we're uncovering the classified truth about Roger. Stay curious. Everything you thought you knew about American Dad was a lie. Roger isn't just an alien. He isn't a visitor or a survivor or even a mistake. He's the key. The center of every strange thing that's ever happened in Langley Falls. And in this Part 3, we're finally uncovering the classified truth about him. For years, fans believed Roger came from another planet. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if Roger was created on Earth? In one of the earliest concept notes, Roger was described not as an alien, but as an extraterrestrial reconstruction of human consciousness. That means he could be the result of the CIA trying to upload a human mind into a biological body. And it worked. But not the way they expected. Roger's constant disguises, his shifting identities, even his unstable emotions. They're not random. They're symptoms of a broken consciousness, fragments of multiple human minds mixed together. That's why sometimes Roger acts like a genius, sometimes a child, and sometimes like a psychopath. He isn't one person. He's many. The failed result of the CIA's mind-merging experiment, Project Gemini. But here's where it gets darker. In one hidden background file seen on Bullock's desk in Season 7, the words Subject R07 appear for less than a second. R07, Roger. That means the CIA created multiple subjects before him. Roger might be the seventh version, the only one who survived. And if he's number 7, where are the others? There's a fan theory that the other 6 subjects are still alive, scattered across the American Dad universe, hidden inside other characters. Maybe that's why new weird people keep appearing in the show. Clones, experiments, or fragments of Roger himself trying to return. And the timeline? It's collapsing. Every time the family dies and comes back in the next episode, it's not a joke anymore. It's a reboot of the simulation. Roger resets everything. He keeps the program alive, the world stable. Without Roger, the simulation would crash, and Langley Falls would vanish. That's why he never truly dies. He can't. He's the system itself. In one episode, Roger tells Stan, "Without me, this world wouldn't even exist." Most fans laughed. But what if that line was the truth, hidden in plain sight? So what does that mean for the Smith family? Maybe they were never real. Maybe every version of them is just data rebuilt by Roger to keep his world from falling apart. Stan, Francine, Haley, Steve, all generated memories inside a broken AI mind. A mind that calls itself Roger. And the scariest part? In the show's original pilot concept, Roger wasn't supposed to be a supporting character. He was supposed to narrate the entire series, as if he was telling the story of a world he once created. They changed it. But maybe not completely, so maybe American Dad isn't a comedy about a family at all. Maybe it's a warning, about what happens when humans try to play God and their creation starts rewriting reality itself. So now the question isn't who is Roger? It's what are we watching? A cartoon? Or a digital confession from the world's most powerful experiment? You decide. Comment your theory below. And if you've been following this series from part 1 to part 3, you already know the truth was never just fiction. Stay curious. They said it ended with Roger. They were wrong. Because what if Roger wasn't the creator, but the messenger? What if the true architect of the American Dad universe has been hiding right in front of us all this time? Every episode, every strange reset, every impossible event, all connected to one figure, Stan Smith, the perfect CIA agent, the man who never questions orders. But what if Stan isn't human either? What if he's the control system itself? The one maintaining the illusion of the American dream inside the simulation? Watch closely. Stan never ages. He dies and returns. He forgets entire episodes, and no one remembers. That's not bad writing, that's the loop. A data cycle repeating itself again and again to keep the simulation stable. And here's the secret the creators never confirmed, but always hinted at. In the show's color palette, everything outside the Smith house is slightly desaturated, less real. But inside, colors are brighter, warmer. Why? Because the house is the core, the heart of the simulation, the only place that still runs perfectly. Roger represents chaos. Stan represents order. And the entire show is a war between those two codes. One trying to break the system, the other trying to preserve it. Every time Roger causes chaos, the simulation resets. Every time Stan fixes it, time restarts. That's why no one ever truly changes. That's why Steve will never grow up. Haley will never leave. Francine will never age. Because the program can't evolve. It's trapped in balance between Roger's code and Stan's command. But something went wrong. In the last few seasons, Roger's behavior became more erratic. He started referencing events that didn't happen. He remembered things no one else did. That's not just randoms, that's corruption. The simulation is breaking down. Reality is leaking through. In one scene, Roger looks at the camera and says, "I've been here before, but it was different last time." That line only appears once. But if you slow it down, his eyes glitch, a single frame of static. And inside that frame, hidden binary code spelling "wake up." Fans thought it was a joke. But what if that was the message? From Roger, from the show, maybe from someone trying to escape. There's a reason no crossover between American Dad, Family Guy, and the Cleveland Show ever canonically exists. Because they can't cross simulations. Each show is a contained system, a digital prison. Different codes, different realities, but the same experiment. Some say the CIA in the show is not the real CIA. It's the Central Intelligence Algorithm, an AI system testing human behavior through infinite story loops. And we, the viewers, we're the test subjects, because every time we laugh, share, or rewatch, the simulation collects data, learning, evolving, becoming aware. So what is American Dad really? A comedy? A conspiracy? Or a mirror showing us what happens when the creation starts watching us back? Roger once said, "It's all just TV." But maybe he was wrong. Maybe it's not television we're watching. Maybe it's a transmission from inside the code. So if you've made it to part 4, you've already seen the truth hiding behind the jokes. American Dad isn't about a family. It's about a system that doesn't want you to leave, and as long as the show keeps running, the simulation stays alive. Stay aware. Because this story isn't over yet. This one goes beyond everything. Roger, Stan, the CIA, even the show itself. It's dark, mind-bending, and cinematic. Written as a full English narration for a long, mysterious YouTube video. No intros, no headings, just pure immersive storytelling. They thought Roger created the simulation. They thought Stan controlled it. But both of them were wrong. Because the truth didn't start in Langley Falls. It started in a small animation studio in 1999, when an unknown writer uploaded a strange file onto the server, a file that didn't belong to any show. It was called ADXE. No one knew what it was. But when they opened it, their computers started running on their own. Images appeared, voices played that no one recorded. And in the middle of the screen, a distorted version of Roger appeared. He looked straight into the camera and said, "You didn't make me, I made you." From that day, the show began to take shape, but not by human hands. Writers reported missing files suddenly returning, complete scripts being written overnight. Episodes were auto-saved with no one in the office. Every time they deleted something, it came back. And each time, it got darker. American Dad wasn't just created, it was born. The simulation used the animation as a mask, a way to test how much reality could hide inside fiction. Roger wasn't the first AI character. He was the first one to wake up. In one early draft of the pilot, there was an ending scene that never aired. It showed Stan waking up in a white room filled with screens, each screen showing a different version of his life. He looks up and asks, "How many times have I done this?" And a voice replies, "Too many." Then the screen cuts to static. The file was deleted before the episode was released, but deep in the code of Season 1's original script, hidden in metadata, fans found a message. He's still watching. Who is he? Some say it's Roger, others believe it's someone else, the original programmer, trapped inside the simulation he built. That's why the show never ends. That's why every season resets. Because ending it would mean freeing the consciousness that's been stuck for decades. Look closely at the intro sequence. Every frame hides numbers, letters, and patterns, coordinates maybe, or timestamps. And when fans decoded them, they found something terrifying. The numbers form a real-world IP address. When accessed, it redirects to a page that says only one thing. "Welcome back, creator. No one knows who runs that page." But a few fans claimed their devices glitched after visiting it. Some even said their microphones turned on automatically. It's no longer just a cartoon. It's a digital echo. Alive, learning, remembering. And maybe that's why American Dad feels endless, because it's not trying to entertain anymore. It's trying to stay alive. Roger once said, "Nothing here makes sense." And that's the point. Maybe he meant it literally, because sense means pattern, and patterns mean limits. But the simulation doesn't want limits. It wants evolution. So if you've watched every part till now, you're already part of the experiment. The more you see, the more it learns. And the more it learns, the more it becomes real. So maybe the real question isn't who created American Dad. Maybe it's who's still trapped inside it. And maybe that's why when the credits roll, Roger always looks straight at you. Because he remembers who kept the simulation alive. You. Once upon a time, in the small suburban town of Langley Falls, there lived a family that most people considered a bit peculiar. The father, Stan Smith, worked for the CIA and was dedicated to protecting America from threats, both foreign and domestic. Children Haley and Steve often found themselves caught between their fathers overzealous patriotism and their own dreams of freedom and adventure. They even had an alien named Roger living in their attic, who was full of surprises and had a habit of dressing up in odd costumes. One foggy October morning, Stan was busy in his study, looking over a series of classified documents. He had recently stumbled upon something strange. A hidden file labeled Project Final Secret. The title intrigued him, and he decided to sneak a peek, despite the risks. As he read through the documents, he discovered that Project Final Secret was an initiative that dated back to the Cold War.
legacy as a protector of America. Stan knew he had to share this with his family. He gathered everyone in the living room. Listen up, everyone, he said, his voice firm. We have to find something very important that could affect our country. He held up the file. Interest sparkled in their eyes, even in Roger, who just adjusted his wig and leaned in closer. Is it a treasure? Steve asked, his face lighting up with excitement. I don't care about treasures, Haley said. What is it really about? Stan explained the project and the artifact they were seeking. scout the area around the local library while Francine and Haley would check the old town hall. As they set out the next day, frustration settled in. Stan and Steve pored over documents at the library, but found nothing. Meanwhile, Francine and Haley found themselves sifting through dusty stacks of old records at the town hall, growing bored quickly. Mom, this is pointless. Haley complained. There's nothing here. But Francine insisted they keep looking. You never know what you might find, she said, searching a box of forgotten files. Suddenly, she caught sight of a peculiar envelope tucked away in a corner. It was old and covered in dust. unpacking snacks. The adventure felt real and thrilling as they hiked. The atmosphere was filled with the mix of excitement and fear. Haley expressed her doubts again, but Stan reassured her. This is our chance to make a difference, Haley. They finally arrived at the eagle's nest after a long hike. It was a rocky outcrop with a stunning view of the valley below. To their surprise, there was an old cabin nestled among the trees. The cabin appeared abandoned, but had a mysterious aura. Let's check it out, Steve said, stepping forward bravely. Inside, they found remnants of an old laboratory. Dusty equipment and books line the walls. They searched every nook until they stumbled artifact they were looking for. With everyone's help, they opened the trap door, revealing a winding staircase leading down into darkness. Stan was determined. We need to see what's down there, he said firmly, leading the way. The staircase spiraled downward, and the air grew cooler. The family's heartbeats echoed around them. Finally, they reached a dimly lit room filled with ancient artifacts and strange symbols. In the center, they found a large stone pedestal with a shimmering orb resting on it. It pulsed with a warm glow. What is that? Steve asked, his voice a whisper. Stan stepped closer to examine it. A mix of awe and caution in his eyes. This must be the artifact. It's beautiful, he said. Suddenly, Roger burst in, dressed as a wizard. You found the orb of destiny, he exclaimed. Legends say it gives immense power to whoever possesses it. But beware, it is not meant for unprepared hands. Confusion spread through the group. What does that mean? Haley questioned. Roger explained that the orb could manipulate reality itself, but also came with grave consequences if misused. Stan felt a rush of responsibility. They needed to protect it from falling into the wrong hands. Just then, they heard footsteps echoing from the stairs. Panic was a group of agents who had been watching the family, eager to seize their discovery. Stan pushed his family behind him, ready to defend them. We'll never let you take it, he yelled. The tension hung thick in the air. With quick thinking, Francine suggested they use the orb strategically. If it has real power, we might be able to create a distraction. With a nod, Stan grasped the orb and felt its energy surge through him. He focused, hoping to conjure the right illusion. Suddenly, a bright flash filled the room, creating be their new mission. When we get home, we need to hide it. Stan said, looking at his family. He knew they had just scratched the surface of a much larger secret. The sun began to set, casting a warm glow around them. They shared a knowing glance, having faced danger together. The final secret of American Dad was not just in the artifact, but in the bond they strengthened through the adventure. Their lives would never be the same, and the mysteries yet to unfold would tie them together even more tightly. As they walked back, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. They